Hello.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. It's lunchtime Friday, so here we are with another live stream into the group. Yes, sorry we're a minute or two late. We were gas bagging. We were
No
putting
need
the
for
world to rights, weren't we?
We
So
were.
the world, if you look out your window, the world will now be perfect because we've sorted it. Um,
Yeah, other worlds are available, or whatever it is, whatever disclaimer you want to put. Because honestly, at the moment, people are going to look out and go, it's not. It really isn't.
Well, yes, okay. I won't go into the toxic positivity. I won't do that. That's fine. Yes. So here we are then for another talk about writing, about story, and this one is really about how to get the first draft of a novel done. Now we talk about a novel, but it could be a short story if that's where you are. It
Yeah.
could be a screenplay, it could be a poem, it could be absolutely anything. Okay, but we tend to work most with in terms of novels, so that's what we'll kind of think about.
And it can be
Um,
difficult to make
yeah,
a start,
yeah,
even if it's not your first piece of work.
mm,
Because I find that if I've taken a break, then getting back in the water is always it,
mm,
it's just difficult. And you build it up and you build it up and you build it up
yeah.
until you think, oh, this is going to be a huge thing. So I think there's
And,
various ways you
and
can
then
get
once
over
you've
that.
started, it's actually
Oh
fine and
no,
you're
it's
enjoying
absolutely
it.
fine. The water's fine. You have a lovely swim. If we're going to go down the swimming, getting back in the
Yeah.
water,
It's
or
all
getting back,
right once you're in. It's
yes,
Michael McIntyre, isn't it?
exactly it. Oh, don't make me laugh.
No, sorry. Yeah, you've still got that cough, haven't you? No,
Yeah,
I
indeed.
mustn't be my normal hysterical self with you. Yeah, so it's all right once you're in. That's what we should have called this.
We should
It's
have
all
called
right
it
once you're
missed
in.
opportunity there, but there we go.
Drat, never mind. It can be a blog post or something like that. Um, yes, so it's all right once you're in. You just start. And so it's easier if you don't get out of the cold pool in the
Yes.
first place.
So the easiest way to start is to not stop. So when you
Mm,
finished, even if you finished a project that you're working on, just keep your hand in as regularly as you can. I was thinking about your other group, your membership group,
mm,
Storytellers Elite, where you frequently post pictorial prompts
mm.
for everybody, so that they've got something to prompt them into writing or whatever. And that's how we met. I was recommended by a mutual friend, and I joined there.
And
And
you've never
I
escaped yet, have you?
haven't. I've been looking for that tunnel. Um, but I went from having one or two short stories under my belt that I'd done over a number of years, and a couple of vague ideas for novels, to by the end of the year, I had well over 200 short stories. And that was just once a week, looking
Mm,
at that prompt and going, okay, I'll write something around that. And looking at one of the novels I've written, the children's novel, when I came to actually write that, I started gathering all the little bits I'd done through the membership,
mm.
and found that of a 48,000 word novel, as the first draft ended up being, I had 22,000 already there. So I had nearly half a novel that I'd done by stealth without even realizing.
Yes.
And it was through just consistently writing a bit and
Mm.
not stopping.
So what you did, in a way, is you tricked yourself into it.
Yes, I didn't think I'm going to write a novel. And when I did think I'm going to sit down and write this novel, I thought, well, let's see how much I've already got done. And
Mm.
oh, I only have half a novel to write. So,
Yes.
and even then, half a novel still sounds a lot. So it was, well, I'm not going to write half a novel. I'm going to write this scene, and then I'm going to write this scene. And that's the thing. It's a kind of sports brand of choice logo of you just do it. You just you write a word and that's a start. You write 10 words and that's a sentence. You write 100 words and you've got a paragraph. And you build and you build and you build, and before you know it, you're writing the end.
Yes. And so it's the how do you eat an elephant approach.
Yes.
Then.
One leg at a time for anyone who hasn't heard that phrase.
Yes, exactly. So that's great. What if someone, though, is in the position where they are right at the start of that journey, if you like, where they haven't been writing for a year, they haven't been practicing, they haven't been, how do we, but you want to write a novel, that's what you want to write.
Well,
how do you start then?
If you want to write a novel, presumably you're not just thinking, I want to write any novel. You've presumably got an idea for what the type of novel you actually want to write. Maybe you've got an idea of a character or an idea of a plot. So what you write doesn't have to be words for that novel. What you write could be, I'm going to think a bit about this character. So I've got the character of this writing mentor, and she's from Wales. And what type of personality would she have? Would she be funny? Would she be spiky? Would she be all of those things at once? Would she have a coffee addiction? You start to think. Only because you're out of coffee, let's face it. So you start to build on it, or you think about the plot. You think, so I want to start here and I want to finish here. So what do I want? And you don't have to have chapter and verse plotted out. I think it's plotters and pantsers, aren't they?
Yes, those are the two. Those are the two types of writers, aren't they? Or the two extremes, at least.
Yeah.
So your plotters are the people who like to know exactly what's going to happen at every stage of the journey. They know what characters are going to go in there. They know how the characters are going to change. They know when the most dramatic moments are going to come up, and they've got it all pretty much set up before they write anything. Then you've got your pantsers at the other end, the other extreme, who write by the seat of their pants. They kind of have a glimmer of an idea and they just write something. They just go with it.
I think in reality, most people are in between. Yeah. So when I start writing, I will have usually a character, at least one character who I know inside and out. In this one, I've got two, but I'll also have a vague idea of what I want to happen, and I'll start writing. And then as I'm writing and little bits become more apparent, I might take a pause and then kind of do a bit more of a timeline to say, well, then this will happen and this will happen. And if they're here, how do I get them from there? Let's have a little think around that. And I might have a play and a brainstorm. And then I'll come up with an idea and I'll write some more. And then I'll go back and think, well, that bit doesn't work now, so I need to change that. But it just then, that's little by little, it grows. So I don't sit down and think, right, I'm going to bang out 80,000 words today. Get it all done. Write a novel.
Yes, I mean, even speaking 80,000 words a day would be difficult. Never mind writing them and having it make sense. That's a bit much to expect, isn't it? So when people start out, they tend to be stopped by the fact that they can't start writing yet because they don't know what happens. Well, actually, it's for most writers, it's the fact that by writing it and having a go and playing around with the idea, being playful with it, not taking yourself too seriously, you actually develop that as you go, rather than, I can't start because I don't know what happens. No, sometimes you just have to start. You just do it.
The whole thing about being a writer is we make it up. we make stuff up as we go along.
Don't tell him.
And actually, one of the most joyous moments as a writer is you're writing something and your characters do something, you go, oh, I didn't expect that. No, that
Yes,
was going to happen. Wow, plot twist.
I know. And you think, I didn't know something that nasty was going to come out of that character's mouth. And then you go, oh, that was in my head. What?
Don't think too much about that.
No, it's best not to.
We
So,
always laugh about the fact that we probably know more than is healthy about how to dispose of bodies, despite, certainly from my perspective, never having first-hand experience.
yes, exactly. Yes,
I notice you haven't agreed you don't have first-hand experience.
A writer's Google history can be quite interesting. So that is how you get a first draft done.
So basically what we're saying is you do it. You just
Yes.
do it. You put one word in behind the next and the next and the next. And you look around you for inspiration, though I suspect you will already have some ideas. So if you have an idea of, I want to write a science fiction story, think about where you want it to be set and just start writing about that world, what you can see, what you can hear. And remember, no writing is wasted writing.
Exactly. So I think we've covered it quite well there today.
Yeah.
So if you are watching on replay, thank you for watching. And Hazel, you made it through without much coughing. Well done.
Hopefully I will be in a better state next week.
I hope so. Hope so. All right. Thank you, everybody. See you again soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.